Buffs Nation. We already got a bunch of people here in the chat. Love to see you guys tuning in as always. Let's see, just starting off, we got Dub Will, we got SP Wharton, we got Mav to Go 1. Thank you for tuning in. If anybody else is watching, be sure to hit that like as you're checking in. Let me know where you're watching from. Again, this whole thing, David Talks Buffs, the whole Colorado bandwagon, or just, the fandom growing is just worldwide right now. And got some great things planned for you today. Of course, we're about to jump into an all 22 film breakdown with my good friend John Cronenberg. And then here at 4:30, we have local Michigan resident Lawrence Collins jumping in, going to give us a little bit of local recruiting insight on Bryce Underwood and a few others, that came here to visit CU recently. So be sure to check that out at 4:30 Mountain. But man, we got a great matchup against Oregon coming up. It's going to be our toughest test. And what's great is that we're getting some reinforcements back, including a big time running back that John and I are going to go ahead and break down a little bit, remind us what he is bringing to the table, just how big of an addition this is to our Buffs offense. But without further ado, going to welcome John Cronenberg back on the show. John, how are you doing, man?
I'm doing fantastic. It's been a while, and since then we've had the Rocky Mountain Showdown. So I've been, obviously over the moon since we haven't spoken about it. It's been one of those things where it always feels good. It never is going to go away. That feeling of beating, your little brother in a way.
No, yeah, definitely. And, little bro brought it this time,
they did.
Credit to them. But, at the
BNF is going to be, is a good quarterback. He's got some good potential for the future, but I'm more focused on Shedeur Sanders and where they're going here.
Yeah, right. And, big brother, I mean, we turned it on when we needed to, and, we got the win. And I mean, take away expectations of, blowing them out before going into the game. I mean, with all the pregame stuff that was going on Friday, all day Saturday, yes. Lil Wayne walking the team out, how, the show was just amazing. The way the game ended was just awesome. You couldn't have scripted it better, right?
No, you couldn't have it. Even though they're on strike, it feels like that it was written by Hollywood, and it really was a great game, something that I enjoyed.
Well, I love it. Well, again, John, what I really love doing with you is going through a little bit of film. You as well as Stephen Hamner. You guys have been people that are teaching me how to read film, how to analyze it, how to dive in a little bit more. And so I'm always super appreciative of you jumping in. For anybody that this is their first time jumping into one of our all 22 reviews, John hops on with me quite a bit. We go through things, but this is just something where I am learning. And so you guys can come along here, learn with me. I mean, all the keyboard coaches, this is the time for you to jump in.
This is the time to ask your questions. This is your time to tell us how we're wrong. I look forward to it. If I am wrong and someone can correct me, this is a learning process for all of us. So exactly. If someone has some other insights, please let us know, because again, then all of a sudden it opens up ideas for us.
Yes, exactly. So how we're going to do this, y'all, is we're going to go through some different plays from Alton McCaskill with his matchup in 2021 against Cincinnati, which was one of his tougher matchups. And John and I are going to provide some different commentary, and then we'll hop in here, try and highlight some questions, and kind of see where we go from that. I got some other plays that if we have time, we'll get into cover, but definitely want to highlight what John has selected for us. So again, y'all let us know your thoughts in the comments, things that are sticking out to you. But I guess before we jump into the film here real quick, or as I'm bringing it up, John, give us an overall kind of, 3-sentence or so scouting report on Alton McCaskill. Like, what do we have to look forward to with him finally suiting up in the black and gold?
Yeah, I don't think this game that we're going to go over is exactly how he's going to perform with CU. But what I think I see is a tough pass blocker who's going to be able to, really help Shedeur Sanders be protected. I see a guy who's going to move the pile, move his legs, keep driving. I just see a tough player with good vision, honestly.
I'll love to hear that. Okay, so John, I have our timestamp list open up here. So hopefully this goes as planned. But
Yeah.
just interrupt me if I'm on the wrong play. But this first one, we're going to start at the beginning of the game, 1st and 10. First play here from one of the first plays here from scrimmage. This is looking right, right?
Yeah, this is looking right. This is when they were still kind of even in this game. So they could run the ball. They could do a lot of different things before things got a little bit out of hand. So let's run this play and see kind of what he's up to here. And if you guys agree.
Perfect. Yeah, for just copyright reasons and stuff like that, I kind of have to pause a little bit as we go through. But maybe you could break down first here this front that we're looking at.
Yeah, we're looking at it looks like it looks like a 11 personnel to me. Doesn't it look like the same to you?
Yes, and then we're going.
I can't tell if that tackle is a little bit. He's out there, that tackle, a little bit too much because he's protecting that edge. But yeah, it is 11 personnel.
And we'll see more of that 3-3-5 look from the defense as well this week that we've been seeing a lot so far.
Yeah, and again, a lot of that 3-3-5, 4-2-5, you're going to see that throughout the season. That's just the way the game is going now in terms of coverage. You just need that kind of manpower on the field with your DBs.
Yes.
And so this play, what I really wanted to show is basically how his blocking is basically able to set up the pass and with the play action here. So you see that, he with the play action, the guys tend to, they're holding where they're at. And all of a sudden that opens up right for your receiver as he's throwing it. A nice little zone area for him to throw to.
This is the angle I like.
But yeah, this is the angle where you can see
put on him.
Yeah, so everyone kind of freezes when he gets the ball, and it's no one's going to kind of hold. Everyone's holding, and it just kind of gives you a nice little zone pocket with that linebacker.
Perfect. All right, now I think we got. Let's see, going on to here.
This is just straight up blocking ability.
Yes. Yeah.
This is just, you have a free rusher coming at you. He's looking inside out in terms of his blocking, and he just spots the guy and does his job. And that's what's so impressive about him is he's able to stand these guys up immediately while they're having steam come with proper base, proper footwork, able to stand them up tall. And again, this was a hard game for them. For him, he got 13 carries for 39 yards, averaging only 3 yards per carry. But again, that Cincinnati team was ranked number 4 at the time, I believe. So it was a real kind of stretch in terms of the talent.
Yes. And I think this was actually a play, John, when I was looking through the tape as well yesterday. This was one that I had bookmarked as well because I think, again, this shows Alton's great ability to pick up this blitzer right here. And with Shedeur, as long as he has the time and the protection, it doesn't matter if there's 5 guys dropping back and only 4 guys running routes, right? Or 3 guys running routes. If the wide receivers, they're going to have the time as long as the blocking is there. And I think
that's a big part that he can add to the game. I also think that if you have 2 backs in the backfield, all of a sudden it can spring Dylan Edwards if they decide to. So that gives you kind of almost like a fullback in a sense, just someone you can trust blocking. He almost has a tight end sense in how he can block and get under guys. He's using that leverage of his height with some of these taller guys. It is very impressive. And it wasn't just here. It wasn't just a few plays. It was throughout the entire game because, again, they weren't asked to run the ball very much. They had to come back from their deficit. So, again, he had to block the entire game like this. And we saw this consistently.
Yes. And I think, this is a play, too. I mean, Clayton Tune's a good quarterback, obviously on an NFL roster right now. But, yeah, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, yeah, he's a good player, obviously, with Arizona. Right now.
But I think, Shedeur, this is a type of throw that, we've already seen him make. And, this doesn't happen without Alton picking up this blitzer and just stonewalling him.
Yeah. I mean,
like you
really, he
said, he's
did.
like
He
a
got
tight
he
end.
got his hands maybe a little bit on the outside. Needs to be a little bit more in the chest plate. But overall, I think that was a perfect play by him. In general, that's what you want from your running back. I don't think
Yes.
you can ask anything else from them.
And I think too, having a big guy that's like 215, 220 pounds, you're not just cutting the guy down from the legs, giving him then the opportunity to get back up and rush.
Mm-hmm.
When you got a guy like McCaskill back there, he can provide solid kind of a long amount of pass protection, not just a cut block.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, let's go to your third play that you had.
This is
At
kind of
14:33.
his biggest play of the game. This is where he finally was able to get a seam, get some ability from the offensive line for him to actually use what he's able to do. This kind of shows his vision, when to cut back and to follow his blockers, and kind of when to get away from his blockers and do his own thing. So it's nice to see that he's not so much he follows his blockers but understands when it's time to go and hey, let's go do some hero ball now. But yeah, as you can see, it's kind of developing slowly. It looks, it looks very nice here. There's obviously an open lane right there on the left side.
What
Got a wide
do
receiver.
you know the names of the gaps, John? Because I always forget.
I mean, there's A, B, C, A, B, C.
Okay, so A is like between the center and guard. B is
Yeah,
the guard and okay, perfect.
and then C is on the outside.
On the outside, gotcha.
Some call it E on the outside for some reason. I've never understood that though.
Here's a nice little cutback that he provides here.
And then he goes. He's seen his blockers. They set the wall. Really good with his vision here. Understands what he has to do. Makes a strong cutback. Obviously, his knee here is healthy. Hope his knee is healthy, and he's able to do that here with Colorado. So you can see that lane is very wide open for him on the right side of him. He's getting ready to make that cut. And again, just hopeful that knee is healthy to be able to see that. Feel like I lost you, David. Oh, there you are.
My internet or something, man. I was cutting out this morning with Steven on here.
Yeah. Okay. No worries, bro. So again, this I feel like always this shows the lanes a lot better, this kind of camera angle personally. So again, we'll be able to see the lane and that cutback much easier. I agree with Nicholas kind of in the comments. Alton has way more vision than any CU running back. I really agree with that as well. I think that's kind of one of his traits that he differs from the other guys. But at the same time, if there's no open lanes like we saw in other plays in this game for Cincinnati, he can also just be, hey, I'm going to plow through this and I'll take that 3 yards and be happy with it.
Perfect.
He's not making negative plays. That's what I can say.
Yes. Yeah. Sorry that I cut out there for 30 seconds, but we finally got the internet connected again.
There we go. Who are you using, by the way? Let's get this out of the air. Should we talk about it?
Xfinity, you got to get it together, man.
Hey, I have them too, and you're so right. There's so many times, and yeah, let's move on though. Okay, so here again, nice work with following his blockers.
And look how he kind of, he allows this hole to just get bigger.
Develop. He allows us to develop. Some guys they see a small hole and all of a sudden they're gone. Like they cannot wait. He takes his time. He understands how the play is supposed to develop. That is key. He's going to do what it takes to get those extra yards by following what the play design is actually written up to be. And some players, especially in college, don't have that patience, that ability to just wait. It takes time to develop that vision, to develop that trait of understanding, hey, if I wait just 3 seconds, do a stutter step, it can lead to more yards.
I think that's great. All right, we got the fourth play up here. See another gun look. 11 personnel. Got Tank Dell in motion.
Yeah, Tank Dell was having himself a game, though.
Yes, that is for sure.
And you see a lot of time it's open by Alton, honestly. Mm-hmm. So this play, the reason why I liked it is, again, talking about the legs moving, always able to, even though it seems like a play that is almost, it feels like a 2-yard play. He pushes the pile a little bit, keeps it going, and I like to see that from guys when, again, you're being gang tackled. Hey, let's finish the play. Make the defense tired. I want that throughout the game. So that way, Oregon, all of a sudden in the fourth quarter, they're tired. They're slowing down. They're unable to keep up with the Colorado and Sean Lewis's fast offense.
Yeah, this is a great point with his ability to consistently finish falling forward.
Yes, that's what we were talking about a little bit earlier. Falling forward, getting that extra 2 yards, that extra 1.5 yards versus being pushed back and being where your progress was. I mean, that's a huge difference. I know it seems small, but every team will take that extra 1.5 yards, 2 yards that happens.
Man, it's a shame that this guard right here couldn't handle the linebacker.
Yeah, if he would have been able to, it would have been a nice big run. But again, that's why this was a hard game for Houston. They had different athletes in Cincinnati.
Yes. All right. Well, we got one more from you, and then I think there are a couple that I highlighted. Some of these were the same plays that we picked, which is pretty cool. But let me go here to the 43-second mark.
This was really his big run of the game. This was, again, I think what you expect from him once he gets his legs underneath him, maybe game 1, game 2 with CU. Just give him some time, and you'll see that big run ability with, again, using the proper holes. And again, he'll be able to, not necessarily score, but, it just feels like with CU, maybe he'll be able to finish these plays a little bit more.
Yes. That little hesitation to allow that hole with the line to open up, as you were pointing out.
Just a slight hesitation, all of a sudden takes a huge play. And I see what Tony's saying. Sean Lewis is the problem. He hasn't done creative run plays. Just handing the ball off with no deception isn't good enough. I mean, that's one thing I saw with Houston. They at least used deception. So I expected there to be some deception, maybe with having Edwards in there as well. Maybe at the same time, have Edwards move around. Maybe he can be receiving the ball instead to see what the defense is set up. Those kind of things are something I would expect from to have maybe 2 running backs in the game, because so many of them are good at catching the ball at receiving.
Yes. And I think, like people have brought up, I don't think we were busting out any of the complex different running schemes against Nebraska and CSU. So we got I think we got more in the cupboard, so to speak. But yeah, you were talking about this hesitation here, just allowing this hole to develop a little bit more. Again, maybe with a less seasoned running back, they might just hit that hole immediately, and it's not big enough to, bounce a run this big. But you see, he allows it to develop, even gets tripped up a little bit.
Yeah,
and it's
but again, showing his balance, which is very important. You need a guy with balance as well. Some guys that are steamrollers or big like that, they tend to kind of fall around. He has balance. That's another key trait for a running back. He has all these traits that you want, especially if the NFL looks at players in trait value, he would be off the charts.
No doubt. Let's see. I picked.
Yeah, show me what you got going.
Yeah, I picked a few different ones here. We'll see. There was some different 2-back sets that Houston was running in this game that I'm like, might we see some of that in our game against, let's see,
more against 11 Oregon personnel like we were seeing earlier, or 12 personnel you were saying.
Yeah, this was the same play that we picked. Sorry, I'm trying to go through.
No, we understand. I mean, we don't want any copyrights or anything like that going on.
Yeah.
But this was a game where, again, there was felt like when the offensive line and the defense, even though they were in a 3-3-5 again, they kind of had that immediate impact where they weren't moving. It was a stalemate. Yes. And with an
Yes.
offensive line like that, it is very hard to get going as a running back. Again, he did not have many yards per. His average was 3 yards per carry here. And again, you can tell he's doing all the work to get going. He's the one who's, again, moving his legs, using all the steam he can to get going.
Yes. Yes. Here it is here at the 8-minute mark. This is something, John, that I think that we should pay attention to. Again,
Yeah,
looking
tell
at
me.
Sean Lewis's offense. If you look at it back at Kent State, there was like a handful of different two-back packages that he used. And this is a little bit different of a concept because when Houston lines up here, Tank Dell is kind of used all over the place, in this offense. So you have Alton here on the left side of the quarterback and then Tank Dell used at the right side. But I think you could kind of see us breaking out, lining up in a formation similar to this if we have both Dylan Edwards and Alton McCaskill in there. And then kind of Dylan Edwards, look for him to kind of be used in some ways that Tank Dell has been used. But, we can kind of open up, see what kind of look that we're getting from a defensive perspective. And then they motion him out right here. And I believe this is some sort of RPO action that they run here.
Yeah, they did a lot of that in Houston.
Yeah, so it gives them the option to hand the ball off, if they have the numbers, depending on what this linebacker is doing, and then they also have the receiver here in the flat that could be Dylan Edwards, for instance.
Right.
But he ends up taking it here. And
we saw that a lot with Tune in this game. Maybe he took it way too many times with a little bit hero ball himself, saying, "Hey, I'll take the ball." It didn't lead great to Houston's, doing well.
Yes, yeah, but I think that's something that, of course, I think Shedeur. We know that he is obviously a pass first quarterback. With the arm talent that he has. Obviously, but I think it would be interesting to see and keep your eyes out for some different RPO actions where you do have some options of hitting a receiver in the flat, giving it to McCaskill based on if we got the numbers. Because I think that Oregon they are going to come out here, put an emphasis on defending the pass, and so that might leave some advantageous boxes for Alton to run through. But here you can see, again, he wanted to take that running lane. I guess you could have hit the guy in the flat if you'd wanted. Again, I'm not a professional, but I'm just trying to show you guys the different options, some different looks that we might see, compared to what we've seen so far with our CU offense.
Yeah, definitely. In the end, I think this is going to be great for the entire team to have him back. I think the offense is going to be much safer in his hands in terms of on third down and long when you need to make a play. All of a sudden, he comes in, he's your blocker at the same time. Let's say it's 3rd and 6, you can give him the ball at the same time and expect him to get those 5-6 yards.
Yes.
I feel like it will take one game for him to get going, though. I think he needs to get he needs to play. You need to get used to playing again. It's been a while. I understand since real gameplay. So I expect game 2 to be much bigger for him.
Yeah, no doubt. And I think, going back to the different looks of this offense, I think I might have remembered seeing Dylan Edwards line up in the slot maybe once or twice so far throughout these first few games. But I think that's something that, could
I would be interested in, at least.
Yes.
I would like to see those kind of looks. Again, I understand, very similar to how they use Tank Dell in some situations here with Houston.
Oh yeah, I think this was the same run that you picked out, John. Yeah, right here, where again it shows his patience.
And you can see, oh man, that if that guard makes that block again, he's waiting for it. It happens. You miss a guy, especially when it comes to linebackers, and then you fall right on your face. But if not, that could have been a big play, especially with your other receivers going blocking at the end.
Yeah, and it just shows your ability to. Like we were talking about, to earn those extra, 1 or 2 yards, that's really tough at the end of some of these runs. That's one area that, we're missing from our run game right now within the first few weeks. And he definitely provides the stature the the size, the physicality needed to see an improvement in that this week. So
Yeah.
that was all the plays that I had in addition. Again, thanks so much for collaborating
Thank you for having me.
with me, John, on this. It's always a lot of fun doing this, but let's go ahead and get to some of the comments.
Let's do it.
I was sharing my screen and I missed what people might have had to say. So
yeah, they were just saying stuff. So
let's see, where am I? Here I am. Sorry. Okay. I'm gonna just scroll up a little bit. Oh, Buffs Overload chiming in. Shout out to him. I know that I've been needing to contact you, get you on the show here at some point. You can look right there and see the space in between linebackers and safeties. Xavier and Jimmy will have a field day with that. Yes, and especially if Shedeur is given the time. Again, when you got a guy like McCaskill back there that's able to provide solid pass protection with these blitzers, it's just only going to give our speedy receiving group some more time to get open, right?
Especially if later in the game, the defense is starting to get winded, and all of a sudden they have to change their coverage maybe a little bit to a soft shell. I'd love to see them be able to bite on that, and then all of a sudden those zones are going to really open up.
Oh yes. Oh, I'm interested in your opinion on this one, Don. With Tony Base coming in here saying jet sweeps are some of the best run plays when the O-line is struggling.
Jet sweeps, I think when ran at the right time can be very effective. I just don't like to see them too much personally. I like to see what they can do in terms of, hey, they're showing what the defense is doing. You understand, maybe they're in man. You can see they're in zone. I like being able to see that. For me, it's like a 1 or 2 time kind of deal per game. And when you do that, that's very effective. So I like when you're able to do it, just not every single, I don't want to see it too much.
I think too that gets me thinking about some of the different RPO actions that we might be able to see where, you could bring a guy in motion kind of behind the line again in that jet sweep. And then, he could be the guy you're throwing to in the flat that already has some momentum and space going.
Right.
Shedeur can put the ball in the right spot to, create a
those
nice
are
game.
Definitely good for wheel routes, all those different kind of things that they can do. I like that definitely for the passing game, which is, again, when they're like that, is an extension of the run game essentially. So you're right there when you're talking about jet sweeps in the passing game. They are essentially run plays.
Yes. Let's see, Mr. Hillsman coming in here saying, wonder why we haven't seen more Wilkerson and Smoke. Any thoughts on that?
My thoughts are they thought they could do it a little bit more finesse style, and that was the plan for these first couple games, is doing it finessely. But I would like to see more pound the run a little bit harder.
Yes. And Buffs Overload coming in here saying that McCaskill can also make his own holes and run through some arm tackles. And I think we just showed a little glimpse, of how he can take a decent hole or a decent line and again, just get that extra mile out of it, right?
I agree, though, in the sense of he can make a guy miss with a stiff arm. We saw that a lot, actually. He used the stiff arm, but it was a difference because there was a lot of gang tackling on that. So it's difference, making one guy miss versus, hey, 4 guys are on you. You can't really do that. So let's move the pile a little bit with turning those legs.
No doubt. And oh my God, I just noticed we got over 200 people in this.
Thank you so much.
Man, this is awesome. Yeah. Y'all be sure to hit that like. It really means a lot. Countdown timer coming in here saying too, Javon Antonio is playing. Any thoughts on how he might be used or how you would like to see him used in the game coming up this week?
For me, honestly, I want to see how Sean Lewis wants to use him. For me, it doesn't really matter what my opinions are. I just want to see what he's able to do.
Yeah, let's get him some, a ball in space, big 4'6" or 6'4" frame, running out there, like built like like Demaryius Thomas or whatever. It'd be nice to see him with the ball in some open space. But I think, getting Van Wells back, getting a Javon Antonio that can block on these screen plays, that can block on these swings, these different RPOs. I think he's a huge asset in the run game. And I'm looking forward to how he's going to be used. Num one grinder coming in here saying, you wouldn't need a fullback and you can disguise the run with two tight ends. I think that was in response to another comment. But yeah, do you think we might see some different two tight end sets coming out here? Obviously, we saw that a lot with Kent State. I'm not really sure if Passarello's going to be back this week. Do you happen to know?
I don't know, but honestly, one thing that I can say is Michael Harrison, when I talked to Tim Brewster, he was very excited to just say, hey, look, remember, we have this tight end in our back pockets, and it was finally great to see him kind of come out. I think, again, with him, he's been a dependable blocker. So, again, for me, you can use him as a guy who blocks for a while, and then all of a sudden, again, if those zones become open, you use him, and all of a sudden he's able to beat his guys and make some big plays. So, yeah, disguise the run using that, all of a sudden, and then use that in the passing game later. So it wins. It's a win-win when he's blocking, and then all of a sudden it opens up the passing game for him.
Yes. And I'm excited to just see how they're going to use him more, to see if, Oregon puts attention on him or not.
Yeah.
That was a new wrinkle that we threw out in the second half against CSU that really helped us get over the top and get that win. I think Nicholas Braxton brings up a great point here. I also expect Shedeur to run 3 to 5 times if it's there. Running some of these RPO actions, could be part of the solution of helping us develop a little bit more of a run game. Of course, if Shedeur, it's important that he's protecting himself on these runs as well. But what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I agree. I think it opens up a lot of different things. I think for a team like this that is running so many plays so fast, I think you can add those wrinkles in. And again, still expect to see those results in the run game where you're having higher yards per carry, higher yards in general.
Yes, no doubt. 74 Blanco is asking, is Travis J playing? I think he seems to kind of be more of a game time decision right now from things, that I've heard. But again, we're getting a lot of reinforcements this week. Who do you have your eye on right now, John, outside of McCaskill, of, some returning guys that you're excited to see play?
I mean, we all have to be. Yeah, we all have to be excited about Van Wells coming back. I think that's going to lead to stability. I think when you have a center in there who knows what he's doing, he's been doing it for a year plus now. He knows how to make the calls. He knows what he's doing. I think that for a freshman, especially in these big games, I think that makes a huge difference.
Yes.
And again, I want my line to be 5 as 1. So I want those guys to all feel like they're one unit. They move together. They know what the other guy's going to do. That's why you need consistency of health with those players.
No doubt. Royal Code coming in here saying Sy'veon McCaskill does his vision and his patience, give you a little bit of a comparison to Le'Veon Bell. What do you think about that?
I wasn't the biggest Le'Veon Bell fan in general, so it's a little hard for me to put get rid of the Bell kind of what he did as a player. But yeah, I could see what you're talking about there, Royal. He has that patience and able to kind of be able to then take that burst and get going.
Should have stayed in Pittsburgh, man. They had a good thing. They
had a good thing going
on.
Yeah. I mean, we see now like we'll talk about it another time when we're off air with the NFL.
Yeah, no worries. Let's see what we'll take a few more comments here that I'll try and pick out here, and then we can just wrap up talking about the game a little bit. Let's see. Royal Code coming up with another awesome comment. Hawaii, not the team you want to play before Colorado. That Colorado State team is who you want to play before a big away game. Thoughts on that?
Yes, I mean Colorado. I felt like they went through a lot with the Rocky Mountain Showdown in a sense that they had to go through the whole entire day with all that different things with Lil Wayne, all those different things going on. So they had a long day. It was very tired. Those kind of things. It was something that was much different. Where Hawaii, that's hey, that's a nice little trip, and you're doing well. And I don't remember if it was at Hawaii or in Oregon. I assume Oregon. That's how Hawaii usually runs things because they need some cachet. So for them, I agree. I think that's just now it's going to be kind of one of those games where, hey, are you guys ready to get going at beginning of the game. Are you guys ready to go at the snap, blow of the whistle?
Man, I love it, and yeah, I'm pumped for this game. I'm pumped for I mean, so many guys that we have returning. Of course, it's a big loss with having Travis out, but again, getting these reinforcements at this time, having played in the tight games that we've played in against TCU, against Colorado State, playing a physical game, against Nebraska. I think that our team is already used to those pressure moments right now.
Right.
And I think if it's a close game, which I'm hoping for, that is really going to serve this team well. But yeah, what are your expectations or thoughts, on this game so far?
I really want to mess with Vegas again. I've loved doing that. It's been something that I know has been great for you and many Buffs fans. It's been just a good time, and I want to see that kind of thing, happen as well. So I want to see Vegas in tears. I want to see the Buffs win this game. I think that they can, honestly. Again, just keep it tight in the first half, and then from there, let your second half adjustments, which the team has been doing so fantastic on, and really let your team kind of take off from there. Hope that you've worn them down through using tons of plays with Sean Lewis. May not take the time of possession, but you're running too much, and those defensive players are going to be tired. So now, are they ready compared to Hawaii? Are they going to be able to keep up with Colorado and how fast they're running the ball?
No doubt. Yeah, I'm thrilled to see this game play out tomorrow. Again, it's another opportunity for our Buffs to take it up another notch, to make some noise. But man, I'm expecting a very competitive game, and I'm expecting another fantastic performance by Shedeur. That's for sure. I got to get wrapping up. I got to get to a meeting here on Friday, but that's just how it is. John. Please tell everybody what you're up to, where to find you, what to be expecting from you, updates with covering Air Force, all of that.
Yeah, you can find me and Tony Casolo of Buffalo's Wire.com and Rick as well. He's a Air Force super fan. I'd say on the fringes of being a part of the team almost. Rick Baum, excuse me. And myself are at CCF Sports, so it's Colorado Collegiate Focus. You can find us at CCF_sports. So just give us a follow. We have all the news on all those different teams. We're working with Air Force to probably do some different things, maybe with their building. If you see they're doing some construction, so we're doing some different things with that, helping them get some sponsorship. So really excited about that. And also we do CU, CSU. I drew the short straw, and I have to do CSU for the show. And it's really, it's hard because I went to CU. I root for CU always. That's my team. And the problem is that, for the show, I was like, hey, whoever loses between CSU and CU has to shave their beard. Well, look at me now. I'm a baby face. Look at me. I'm a baby face.
Oh man, I haven't shaved my beard, and since I've done that, we're 3-0, right? So I got to keep this.
So you
going.
can't. You got to keep it going, even if it comes in patchy. You just got to say, it's for the team.
I'm just gonna keep it going. Well, to all the fellas in the chat, it's always a joy doing this with y'all. Really appreciate your support. Be sure to hit that like and comment on the way out. As always, John, we'll see you next week as we get ready for USC. And as always, everybody, go Buffs.
Let's go Buffs.